Murder mystery. No one heard their calls dragged down south. They snuck away when our heads were down. They don't like to hang around these parts of town. An old cowboy grumbled to me from the end of the bar. Not since the last reckoning. I held my breath. I thought everyone forgot about that. Ever since the last time the world ended, there had been more findings of ravens, buried treasure than ever before. They left food and presents scattered holes around the town, but they were nowhere to be seen. Marbles and feathers, snacks and metal bits. The holes came more and more. Things in the yard. Messages, signs everywhere. Gifts for us to collect and overcrowd our desks, and leave us to wonder what the hell they mean, but no ravens around to look us in the eye and to explain it to us. Cowards. Sorry, I have no right to be mad at them. Hell, I'm the one who caused the last rapture anyway. I think they're upset with me for thinking I can make such big decisions. Sorry. Yeah. I dropped the glass I was holding as I tried to stare down the cowboy. He laughed as I screamed. The story of the ravens slipped with the glass and shattered to the floor at the first notion of the cowboy's eyes. It was the first murder mystery of a long time coming. Mama's big ache. One day, Big Mama Hecate went flat, because she woke up and couldn't smell her baby no more. My baby, she screeched to the sky. She howled till her neighbor's feathers shook. She screamed till she knew humans knew what it meant to be a bird. They took her, damn it. She knew her little young'un was gone for real, and so she set out to find her. Little did she know, she took the whole world of crows with her. It was an epidemic. It seemed all the little babies kept getting lost in space. The crow mamas didn't know what they were doing wrong, so old Hecate set out to the wind to figure out her misgivings. She flew and wouldn't stop until she found the big three, the giant ravens who were in charge of all this. She flew with the anger and the temper fit to steam. She made the air around her cry, but even so, in this indignation, she was abruptly stopped. Whacked by some invisible force. She looked up to find what was a giant mirror. She couldn't fly any further. She just had to look at herself. Trapped there, staring at herself, she could hear a baby screaming. Humans. You know, animals live in a parallel universe, said the scientist. Sipping milky coffee, the scientists checked their fingerprints. Check, recheck. The crows, wearing trench coats, stole the humans' wallets every time. Parallel universe my ass, said Buck. If anyone was the leader of the baby crow gang, it was him. He's the one who's having those haunting dreams and surviving through them with no mama to hold him. The other little babies trusted Buck with their scheming. Babies needed each other, especially in these hard times. Lucky enough, Buck had his morals. This gang was one of true camaraderie. The only worry was that the way he'd stare off into the distance at times, into a kind of nothingness. He'd shake it off after a couple minutes, say he didn't know what came over him. He'd say he'd heard screaming from somewhere, but he didn't know where. Sometimes we'd remember our past lives as little baby crows. We would remember some big beak reaching to our faces and giving us something sweet for our tummies. Now we steal gummy worms from the humans. We don't know why they always call themselves humans, though. They're a lot like us, really. They sing for love, and they steal for hunger, and they collect things for rituals. I like them a lot. Only, they give me the creeps sometimes, when they turn on you out of nowhere. Sometimes you think everything's okay, and then they start charging at you, or screaming, or something wild. I mean, these human creatures are just so damn explosive. A few months ago, they came out with this new way to explode. They make these terribly loud sounds that plunge into our ears and shake up our heads till our feathers fall out. It is clearly uncalled for. Really uncalled for. Humans are really very impulsive, aren't they? living in the tree. When you are quiet, are you thinking something? Left over in the back seat, hide in the tree for safekeeping. Spirits, spirits, can you hear us, hear us? We reached the end, hear the alarms. It's a celebration, but I am in cahoots with the earth, so I live forever. And no one is truly alone. We play games in outer space. Drums mean the end of time. Good night calls the crow. Goodbye to the tree. What do you think about when you are alone? By the rot of the end of fascism, my prayer. The old wooden house at the end of Millblock Street has been dead for some time now. No one took a glance as they walked by, for they feared they'd never see their eyes again. No, it was no shiny, two-door, hit-and-miss, run-of-the-mill it used to be. When the family left their house, they left with no explanation in the middle of the night. They never said a word to anybody, only carved into the side of the house a message. Western civilization isn't dying, it's dead. Then one silent day, the crows decided to keep the house. They don't mind dead things so much. They filled it with so many treasures, french fries and pebbles, ribbons and rusty nails, chode, bubblegum and bones. They truly made a paradise. A crow society dream home. Well, the humans around town weren't too fond of this, no. So they all got together with pitchforks and torches and blindfolds, of course, so their eyeballs wouldn't fall out. They'd all been on edge, so since the family mysteriously left with this omen, they were just dying for an excuse to mob. But the crows knew this was their home. They loved it. So extra sure of this belonging, they locked the doors and windows from the start, shook their feathers to let out spells, and they were safe. The angry mob clashed and clamored, mostly into each other, but every once in a while they hit the house and rocked it back and forth. The wind-up bird. The baby crow woke from a nightmare, he thought. He looked around and found no monitor. Suddenly his home was on the ground, a place he'd never known before. The nest was surrounded by little piles of dirt, and there was a faint smell of roadkill. He didn't know what this was, he thought. I am so new to this world. Smaller than he ever was, he stepped into the soil, folks whistling as they walked on by. The big three attend the reckoning. That's how you knew it was time's up. You look up, the place you thought you were so big, and there stand 3 giant ravens, twice your size, glowering above you. You gulp some air, and choke. Stop. Hold your breath. Rambling in a pile of sticks, stammering on your words you planned over and over. There is no point in writing any of this but to tell you that I saw 3 ravens. For a moment, they and I were perfectly still. Uh-oh, silence is crippling me to a crispy, crumbling version of myself. The ravens seem perfectly fine. Long, curving black beaks pour down and intimidate my small, wavering hands. Eyes dark, barely visible, stretching back to some other place. I knew I shouldn't have planned the rapture. Home ahead, Kate, screaming in the distance. Village of Crows. In the spring, Big Mama gives birth to herself. In spring, she goes south and gives birth to her piles and piles of dirt. Bringing dirt to the south when the exile is too loud, the village must disperse, now only dirt. When mamas got tired of their piles and piles of baby birthin', they got to go birthin' piles of dirt. But boy, how they sang. Those giant ravens never left my mind all the while, keeping watch for mamas and babies a shiver. At this point, all the villagers were obsessed with the crows and with babies in general, and they didn't really know why, but they all dressed like crows and were constantly cradling objects, like it was their newborn child. As the mama crows resorted to dirt, They looked at humans and laughed. I laughed too. I keep a dresser full of dirt at home, and people look at me funny. Meanwhile, they got a bunch of feathers all over their faces and watermelon stuffed in their shirts to make them look pregnant. The world is crazy. The crows know better. They really are smart. Humans are smart sometimes. Hecate knew about the epidemic. When she found her little baby gone missing, she knew straight away about the rapture and the 2 big pile of babies stuffed in the trees. Since the big 3 passed the baby law, everybody was popping those suckers out like hot potatoes. They were too many, and they were screaming and crying for someone to see them, but there weren't enough eyes. It was so sad. That's when all the little babies of the world decided they could just use their own eyes to see themselves. So all the little babies started going missing because they up and left on the pursuit of themselves. Most mamas screeched a little and went on pooping out babies, but Hecate screamed for days and cried a few more. Then she was as still as she ever was. She felt her baby gone. She felt a piece of her body was missing. Lost and found. Little baby Buck dreamt his mama was shitting out babies made of dirt, and she would kiss and cuddle them and bring them worms to eat. In the nest he shrunk, smaller and smaller, till she couldn't see him no more. If she can't see me, then I can't be seen. I'm a stranger here myself, he thought. And he stepped out of the nest for the first time in his life. But it was just a dream, he thought, and he left for good. He decided walking was the only thing that would keep the earth moving. I am the wind-up bird, he thought. If I stop running, the rest of the world will too. So he went on his greatest adventure. He saw the skies of gray, something he was never supposed to see, but which were his favorite to stare into. He saw a wooden house of chipping white paint, crumbling as it shook back and forth from angry villagers in crow hats barging into it. All the while, a fuzzy black mass inside it pushing back, almost lifting it into the air. He kept walking. Along the empty highway, a giant raven in the middle of the road, and it told him the future. It said, "I'll trade you 10 cents for mine." And with a wink, he was gone. The little baby, in utter confusion, was left to drag the heavy luggage the raven had left for him. He didn't know why, but he couldn't stop moving long enough to understand. Days went by, and the highway reached an end. He stared to face a large concrete room. An underground pool filled with dirt, memory of roadkill strung from the ceiling like a decoration. He dropped the luggage. The little crow bumped his legs to keep the wind-up clock in motion. Staring half in terror, half in awe, he smelled his mama. Is this home? Don't go, baby, don't go. What will happen to the rest of us when the wind-up bird stops?